finishing before they've all started?
Well, the next starters here will be the Victories for White Group, and here's the course for the Victories. 3J Port Axters, 3Q Port Gurnard Sailing Club, 3G Port Raymarine, 3A Starboard West Leap, 3K Starboard Leap Spit, 3C Port Garmin Line. That's the course for the Victories. A predicted finish time of about 3:15. And joining me for the start of the Victories is Clive Coking of the Victory class, and also Clive, you look after the technical side of the Victories. You also race Victories, but obviously not today. Having watched the start of the Seaview Mermaids there, I'm sure the Victory class will be watching that with close interest, and they will be learning that it's going to be very tricky.
Absolutely. Looking out there today with the tide running to the west, there's a good chance that you want to be keeping towards the northern end of the line, but further south towards the island there's a lot less breeze, so there's an interesting question of whether you want to take the bias on the line or stay further out into the tide to make the best of that as you make your way westwards off the line.
Well, they've got 7 minutes to go until their start, reasonably spread out, but a nice big fleet of Victories here, of course all of them over from Portsmouth and an integral part of Aberdeen Asset Management Cowsweek.
Absolutely. I mean, the Victories pretty much consider Cowsweek as their national championships every year, and we have our other local regattas, but there's nothing quite like coming to Cowsweek every year to race upon these waters. I think we've got 17 or 18 boats this year, which is a little bit down, but that's to be expected. There's some of us, including myself, that have been down in Weymouth watching the Olympic Games, so I think that's taken on people's various holiday times and family commitments. So it's down on numbers a little bit, but that's not to be perturbed from the fantastic racing that we're going to get here for this week's Cowsweek, but also more generally when we're back in Portsmouth on our home waters, racing Tuesdays, Thursdays and Saturdays.
And nice today for spectators like me that we've got a finish on the squadron line, so hopefully some spinnaker finishes here.
Oh yeah, you will notice that all the spinnakers with the Victories, they're all different colours, and each of those colours are designated by their own owners, so they have complete free reign of the colours they choose. Notable of those is going to be the spinnakers on Z58, Zephyr, and Z57, which is Pelican, I believe, and 77, which is Pelican. And now Z58 has just been sold, and he's bought a new plastic boat, so the two spinnakers on Z58 and Z57 will be the same. And also interestingly, both of those are the colours of the Victory class emblem, which is the yellow, the black, and the red on the spinnakers.
Now, let me just check with you. Are you with the Sunsail there, 40?
Yeah, we're with the Sunsails. We'll just, if you give me 30 seconds, we'll just have the start of the Sunsail.
Absolutely.
And then we'll go back, because you've obviously got a good talker there. I like the sound of that man. And it'd be interesting to hear more about the Victories. But with 15 seconds to go to the start, we have one of the Deloitte Sunsails coming right towards the line now. 5 seconds to go. Come on, go for it. You can go for it. You can go now. 4005. You can go for it. The gun goes. They're clear. Come on, goes the bowman, waving frantically. He's there. Howden trying to get in on the snow. Oh, nearly a collision there, but Howden got wiped off by Deloitte. There's Orca Training and Recruitment. Bow right down in a big gust. We've got 18 knots here. Behind them is 4042, but Deloitte there, number 005, got an excellent start. Coast Graphics a good start as well. One of the Aberdeen Asset Management boats, a cracking start in the middle of the line. Orca Training and Recruitment has been doing well and fighting out for the lead of the class with Coast Graphics, and they've got a good start to win with, but what a good start by Deloitte there, so well done to them. So a really close, in fact, a very close start for the F40. So great one. That's the last one on the black group line. We've got the first black group finishers approaching the finish, I think, but we'll come in and watch the Victory start with you down there.
And the breaking news here on Cows Radio is that Foncia has smashed the Round the Isle of Wight record for circumnavigating the island. It's just set a time of 2 hours, 21 minutes and 25 seconds. That is the official time, 2 hours, 21 minutes and 25 seconds. And they have broken the record for going around the Isle of Wight. 3 minutes and 30 seconds until the start of the Victories, and a lot of them fighting the tide there, Clive. Clive Cocaine from the Victory Association is with me, and they're just fighting that there, aren't they, Clive?
That's right. There's a big bunch at the moment in the middle of the start line trying to edge towards the cow side. So despite these boats being designed in 1934 by the great Alfred Westmacott and raced by perception by old fuddy-duddies, these guys really know how to race. And one of the nice things, along with the new generation of the GRP plastic boats that has come out in the last 6 or 7 years, is the actual new generation of sailors that we're managing to attract now. So in the past, the class was generally elderly sailors, but now with the new plastic boats and the competitive racing that we have, there's been an influx of very good quality younger sailors.
Now, I have to ask you about Zinnia, because we are used here on Cows Radio to always talking about Zinnia, but we no longer, because those guys are in the XOD. So what's happened there? What's the story?
Well, there's two schools of thoughts on this one. There's a school of thought that he decided that they wanted a new challenge, and then the other thought that I think we're all sticking to at the moment is that he got scared of all us new kids on the block, and it was time to move on. So, but the boat's there. The boat is there, ready to be raced. It's for sale if anybody wants it. A very quality boat. It's built in the 1980s, won numerous Cows Weeks, well over 10 I think. So if anyone wants to come along and take it out for sale or come up sailing with us, we can certainly arrange that. And there's a selection of boats there from a well-raced Z69 Zinnia with a great track record to some cheaper ones that need a little bit of work. So come and say hi.
Well, I'll ask you about the contact details once we've got through the start here, with 1 minute and 50 seconds to go until the Victory start. It is Ziva with, 4 bullets so far this Aberdeen Asset Management Cows Week. They are leading the class, so we're looking out for Z78 on the sail numbers.
Yeah, Z78 is currently down here by the squadron end of the line. So it'd be interesting to see where he tries to lay himself up for the start here, because to me he looks pretty light this side of the line, and maybe he's too far in. We will see.
Well, we've got Expos getting ready for their start as well. Same designer as the Victories. What would you say are the main differences between a Victory and an XOD?
Okay, the main differences are that the X-boats are carvel built. So the holes, while they're made of planks, are nice and smooth and all fared together, whereas the Victories are clinker built, where the planks are slightly overlapped and then riveted, nailed together. So the hull forms are very, very similar, apart from the planking design.
And is the Victory quicker?
Downwind, the Victory is significantly quicker. We have a large spinnaker. The X-boats have a tiny excuse of an spinnaker, but the Victories have a nice big one that we managed to. If we go around a windward mark near the X's, we can say goodbye to them very, very quickly. So, they might have the nice boats and they think they're all that, but downwind we've certainly got the edge.
Okay, well, leading them in at the moment is Victory 58, Z58 Zephyr. I can see coming in. They're certainly going to say goodbye to the XODs now, because it's the start of the Victories here on Cows Radio with 20 seconds to go, and they look all clear at the moment, Clive.
Yeah, they're looking a little bit shy at the moment, but there's a few lining up on port, so we shall see how this pans out.
Well, yes, let's see who can port tack the others coming in. 74 is on port at the moment, which is Peregrine.
That's it. We've also got 78 who's leading the week at he's just on the furthest boat inshore at the moment.
Clear. All clear, so good start for 38 as well, which is Minx. They are on port, and it's 74 leading over the line, Peregrine, and a bit closer to you, Dick, is 77, which is Pelican.
Yeah, 77's got quite nicely there. Certainly the middle of the line seemed to be paying there. 58, a little bit late on the line. They've given away a lot of distance already, so they're going to have to do a bit of hard work. Isn't that the boat from Dolphin Sails, the one that's been come down from the East Coast, the sailors from the East Coast?
58 is being sailed by a guy called John Scammell, who is a Victory sailor in Portsmouth, but it's being sailed by his brother who lives in Suffolk, and he owns Suffolk Sails.
That's right, yeah.
So they're doing okay.
They are, yeah, but not a very good start today. 77, the middle of the line seems to be the best, isn't it? Probably the most wind.
Pelican is 77.
Yeah,
74.
The middle of the line does seem to be best at the moment. We've got 78 who is leading the championships. Right on the inside here is just inside the line of the mooring buoys, and he's struggling for breeze and heading a little bit lower. So we might find in the next 5 or 10 minutes as they head round round the corner that the guys on the right-hand side, as we look up the beat, are going to come round the front of him. But we will see.
So Ziva in 78, that's Mark and Joe Dennington and Jim Downing. And are they recent Victory sailors, or have they been doing it for years and years?
Mark has been sailing Victories for a number of years, but he recently bought 78, the latest plastic boat 2 years ago from John Heritage over here on the Isle of Wight and Cowes. So he's the builder of the plastic boats, and they seem to be sailing very, very well. There were some discussions about whether new plastic boats would be quicker or slower or in comparison to the wooden boats, but that's the technical guy. We're keeping an eye on that every year upon year, and so far there appears to be very little difference, if any, between the plastic boats and the older wooden ones.
74's tacked. I'm not quite sure why, because I think you actually tacked to clear his wind from 77, but I wouldn't have thought that was too much of a worry at the moment. I think you would want to stay out in the tide, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I think you probably would in an ideal world, but if he's getting so much bad air that there was no option to come back in, he could probably come round the back of 4 or 5 of those and flick back onto port. He'll probably be okay looking from here.
He's just gone back indeed ahead of 72, but I don't think he's gone back into a much better place, to be perfectly honest. I'm not sure that was really the best tactic.
74 is Peregrine. We'll get more from Clive and the Victory Association in a moment. Also, an update on the Artemis Challenge, how the monohulls are doing. But first, here's the course for the XODs, course confirmation for the XODs. 3B Port, E-Digital Research. 3P Port, City Main. 3H Port, East Leap. 3D Port, Saltmead. 3Q Port, Gurnard Sailing Club. 3L Port, Gurnard Ledge. Line. Squadron finish line for the XODs. They'll be following the Victories. Let's see how the Artemis Challenge is going, and say hi again to Stokey Woodall over at Bonchurch. Stokey, what can you see?
Hi there, guys. It just started to come into view. There's Domesta with Mike Golden on board and the little team, and they're just about a quarter of a mile to half a mile ahead of Artemis Ocean Racing with our windsurfer, silver medalist Nick Dempsey on board. Lovely conditions down here, but I would imagine they've had a very tough time around the Zapping Point because it's pumping into about a 4-knot tide. They haven't had the luxury of the 70s have had, where they got around it in actually a favourable side, and now they're probably going to throw it in a lighter side.
And the record for going around the Isle of Wight has been obliterated today, Stokey. 2 hours, 21 minutes and 25 seconds, the official time for Foncia.
Absolutely fantastic. Well, like I say, they went past my house at 23.8 knots, I think it was. And by the time I got the headsets on, they were out of view. So, yes, they were screaming.
Well, Stokey, thanks very much for the update over at Bonchurch. Stokey Woodall of International Ocean Services here on Cowes Radio. Just over 5 minutes to go until the start of the XODs. Clive Cockayne of the Victory Association is with me. Clive, in the olden days when I started on Cowes Radio, you guys used to have a passage race back to Portsmouth, but that doesn't happen anymore, does it?
It seems not. I think we had a class survey a couple of years ago, and whether or not we wanted to race on the Saturday or not, and then sail back on the Sunday. And I think the consensus was, which is the reason we don't do it anymore, is that we prefer to finish on the Friday now, and we have a good night on the Friday night, and we sail home under our own accord. I think there wasn't very much. People had a long week and a tired week and another race back home. A lot of people just didn't want to do that.
Well, I think you're going to have a good night tonight as well, aren't you? Because it's the Royal London Yacht Club Victory Class dinner.
That's right. We have an annual dinner over here in Cowes during Cowes Week each year, and that's very well attended. So there'll be the wives, girlfriends, and etc. all coming across later on to join the sailors and have a good night there again.
It is Ladies' Day here at Cowes, and are there many lady sailors in the Victories?
Indeed, we have. Half the boats this year have got ladies on them, so we're doing quite well for that this year. Our class captain is a lady as well. You might be interested to know. So that the first lady captain of the class, which is Maxine Reeves. So she's sailing in Z54 with Jeff Dixon, and they're doing quite well. I think they're third or fourth in the results at the moment. And then we had Z74, the boat that Dick was just talking about, tacking off there, and that's helmed by Carol Evans, and she shares the helming with her husband. And then we've also got on Z57 is Janet D, who's been sailing Victories since she was 21 years old, apparently. She's a very, very good Victory helmsman, and she's on Z57 with Sean Hopkins this year. But there's numerous other people on the half of the boats. They've also got ladies, so a good day and a good representation of the ladies out there this year for the Victory class.
Well, great to see the Victories, and if somebody's watching on the green or sees them in other parts of the Solons and fancies to go, how would they get involved in Victories?
Okay, there's various methods in the modern technology of getting involved and coming to see us. Probably the simplest way is to log on with your laptop or your clever mobile phone nowadays to the victoryclass.org.uk. We've got a very nice new website there with all the contact details on there. We've also got Facebook and Twitter accounts, etc., which you can be linked to from there. The other alternative to actually come down and see us. We race Tuesdays and Thursday evenings from Old Portsmouth. So come down, and we've got a very good working relationship and have had for years with the Portsmouth Sailing Club. So whilst we have our own yard and facilities for storing the boats, etc., we use the majority of the time is from the Portsmouth Sailing Club. So if you want to come down and have a go, come down probably 8:30 on a Tuesday or a Thursday evening. Come and say hello, introduce yourself, and we'll try and get you out for a sail the next time and introduce you to all the people here.
Great. Well, Clive, thanks very much for coming and joining us here on Cows Radio. Clive Cockayne of the Victory Class Association there, and great to have your expert knowledge for the start of the Victories. You've got the XOD starting in a couple of minutes. Are you still with the Victories?
No,